Hi, it's Colin Coward. I started The Volume to bring you some of the most authentic voices in sports. While you're here, make sure you hit subscribe. Thanks.
Let's start with Antonio Brown. And yesterday, I usually go to the CVS by my house whenever I need something, like body wash. If I'm traveling, those little, when you got a shaved head, you got to always bring shaving cream on the road. But you can only have the small ones. You can't bring the big ones, the little edge. And so I went to CVS. And anytime you go to CVS or Walgreens or any of those type stores, they always have the tabloids at the, right when you're checking out, which I'd be lying if I said at one point in my life, that type stuff didn't interest me, fascinated me, and I read Us Weekly, People Magazine. Now, it's like you can only put so many pictures of Kim Kardashian, J-Lo, and Ben Affleck on that thing. Like, eventually it starts to bore you. It's like, I do not care where Kim Kardashian is with Pete Davidson. It was a little more interesting a decade ago when she hadn't been that relevant for that long, right? Because you're like, who is this person? What is this? And the tabloids, one thing, and listen, I understand they have a business to run. They play the hits. I mean, there are 4 or 5. You're getting a lot of Meghan Markle. And I can only see Meghan Markle so many times before I go, I do not care. It doesn't even begin to interest me what is going on with Meghan Markle and her husband and the Euros. I'm out. I've given up on the royal family. Cool story like 5 years ago, not anymore. Like who J-Lo, she's back with Ben Affleck. I do not care. And one thing with Antonio Brown is he's like TMZ of the NFL. It's always something. I woke up this morning kind of early, wanted to get my workout in, little Jocko style, before the sunrise. And first thing I do, it's not the healthiest thing to do, I check my phone. So I'm looking at Twitter, and I see all this stuff going on with Antonio Brown. And my first reaction was, I do not give a shit. I refuse to spend much time looking into this. Now, I read the text message that he tweeted out about Alex Guerrero and Bruce Arians, and I was like, what are we reading? What are we doing? And I saw so many people that covered the NFL like, this is crazy. This is awesome. It's like, how are we still doing that with Antonio Brown? Every single year, for years now, he has been doing things out of left field. I'm just out. Like, I just do not care. Like, I've tapped out of the Antonio Brown drama. Now, it's like Alex Guerrero's charging individuals $100,000 for doing who knows what. Pretty good business he's got going on. But, like, I'm not going to pick a side in this because I truly do not care. But I know this. I guess I will pick a side. I'll go with Bruce Arians. I'll go with Tampa Bay. I'll go with Jason Light over Antonio Brown. Because Antonio Brown now has a long history. And I don't know how anyone, and listen, maybe I'm a little jaded. You do this long enough. If I was 20 years old, I would be all over this. But I find it kind of exhausting. I find it kind of, stupid. Like, what are we talking about? Now, the only reason he's there, and we talked about it earlier earlier this week when he went crazy on Sunday, it's because of Tom. Like, I do think Tom should come out and say something in defense of his coach and in defense of his organization, because he does bear the responsibility of bringing this crazy situation around guys that, let's face it, like Mike Evans, high-level guy, right? All their guys on defense, high-level guys. You follow Ndamukong Suh on social media? Now, he did some dirty stuff back in the day. The dude tweets about, apartment real estate, how to grow your wealth, where to get good ROIs with your money. Ndamukong Suh's a smart guy. And they got Antonio Brown doing who knows what. I'm done. Like, I don't pick up the tabloids anymore. Now, I'd be lying if I said I never did. But it no longer interests me. Antonio Brown, he's not good enough to keep interesting me. Now, big picture for them, he did play a pretty big role on their team. Now, the Godwin has a torn ACL. Like, they don't have, who's going to play wide receiver? A big reason that they had a lot of success down the stretch last year. And now with Godwin getting hurt, who led the team in tackles by a country mile, they now really depended on Rob Gronkowski. They're really dependent on Mike Evans, who's kind of become this a little younger version of Julio Jones, freak talent, unstoppable player, but he's always injured. There is just some pressure on some of these no-name guys. Now, if you're a Tampa fan, you've heard of them, but the non-Pro Bowlers stepping up. And it'll be interesting. Obviously, this week they should roll. But when come the playoffs, like, can they win 3 games to get back to the Super Bowl? I think I'm going to bet against them. Well, I know I am, because I'm not going to pick them to go to the Super Bowl. Thanks for watching 3 and Out. You can check out the podcast below in the description. And make sure you subscribe right now to the Volumes YouTube channel.